Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, The Last 50. My name is Mary and I'm documenting my struggle or journey to lose my last 50 pounds. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to my channel and make sure you click the bell so you can get updated every time I post new content. So, how are you guys? There seems like there's so much to talk about since the last time I made a video. It's been probably almost 2 weeks. Today, I'm recording today, and I believe it's Wednesday, the 29th of August. I don't have my watch on, or else I'd look for the date. But anyway, I will give an update about me and how things are going, and then I just kind of want to jump into what I see as being like the really hot topics happening right now in like the YouTube and online fitness and weight loss communities, because I'm just kind of in a place where I'm blown away by a couple things, but we'll get there. So and a lot of things have been changing in my life in the last 2 weeks, positive changes and good things, so I'll share that too. So first off, let's start right here with a weigh-in, which I will insert right here. Okay everybody, time for a weigh-in. It's Wednesday, August 29th, and here we are, 176.4. Okay, so 176.8. I'm actually really happy with that weigh-in. I know that if we compare it to the last one that I've recorded on here, it's only about a 1.2 or 2 pound weight difference, but actually in those intervening kind of like 3 weeks or so, or even it may even be a month since the last time I posted a weigh-in, I kind of went off the rails a bit and ended up gaining a lot of the weight that I had lost back. So I went back up to like 182, 183. So seeing 176 is awesome, and that is like literally a 5 or 6 pound weight loss since even like last week, the beginning of last week. So I will take it. I feel like I'm definitely on track. Everything's kind of finally come together. I got my act together, but my head is in the right place, and I'm just really happy with my performance right now. Part of that is that, yes, the routine has come back. My kids started school on Monday, and I have a kindergartner and a pre-K student, so I'm really kind of shocked by how fast time flies with that. But regardless of what grades they're going into, they now have to be in school from pretty much 9 to 3:30, 4 o'clock, and that means that there is a structured time to my day now, which is awesome, and I can get in that routine that really seems to work for me. I also started a new part-time job last week. Last Monday was my first day, and so I'm working Monday, Tuesdays, and Fridays from like 9 to 4, so that also gives me some structure. So on those days, I've been actually getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, going to the gym, getting my workout in, coming back, doing all sorts of stuff like showering, getting ready, get the kids ready, and my husband or myself drop them off depending upon what my husband's commute schedule looks like, if he's gonna go in or not to the office. So there's a real framework to how everything is flowing, which is what I work best with. I've been prepping my meals. Because there's 3 days where I'm out working, I bring my food with me. I'm distracted because I'm working, so I'm not sitting at home possibly eating out of boredom, or obsessing about food or anything like that, or even just doing anything that would, or snacking or anything like that either. And then the other 2 days of the week that I'm not working that job, I'm doing door dashing like for about 10 hours. So I'm working around food, but the food that comes into the car and I'm delivering, it never smells good. Like, it very rarely is it like smell good to me. So I don't really look at that as any kind of temptation. And on those days, I actually bring all my food in a cooler and I take breaks to eat my meals. So yes, there's a good flow going to my world now, and I'm really happy to have that back, and I'm really happy to start seeing the results of it. Other observations, my meal plan, I'm kind of really digging my meal plan right now, excuse me, and part of it is because I have a breakfast meal that's basically kind of like an egg scramble, and I've been having that with like spinach and onion in it, and it's so filling and it feels like so much food, and it's definitely been a really good first or post workout meal for me, because it's like high protein, but it also is extremely filling, so I'm not craving any food. And by the time I get to eat lunch, which is usually around 1 o'clock, I'm not even hungry. Like, I'm ready to have my lunch, but I'm not, I haven't been craving anything or really hungry at all. So I'm really happy with that first meal, and I just kind of, even if it sounds boring, I'm just going to keep sticking with it because it seems to be working. My water consumption is up a huge amount. I'm back on my like gallon and a half a day, which has also been great. So pretty much everything is going really positively for me, and I'm really thankful and happy, and feel like I'm in a good mindset with things. So that's my really quick update on me. I will do another weigh-in probably a week from now, or I know I said I was going to do a regular Monday thing, but that doesn't seem to be happening. But I'm going to try to not go as long. Like, I hopefully at least a week and a half in between videos, if not shorter than that. It's just, things are crazy, so I have to do it when I can do it. So moving on. So I talked about Fat-Topia my last video, and I don't want to say I kind of took a neutral stance, but I kind of didn't get out there and really commit to a very strong opinion, other than I was really disappointed in the FA community for not even being willing to come to the table and have a discussion with Connor about his film, and I was not happy with how they portrayed him at all upon release of the film, and even upon hearing that he was making this film, and how they felt that he had no place to stand on, and having a viewpoint and opinion on being fat, because again, he is a white, heterosexual, cisgendered, thin man, so he can't have an opinion, obviously. Other people have made videos since. Charlie Gold has made a great video, just put it up today or yesterday, about giving a review about the film, and she is 100% dead on, straight up in your face with her opinion. She lays it all out there for you. If you haven't seen it, please go watch it. If you don't subscribe to her, please go subscribe to her. She's worth it. She is a woman in her 30s. She's obese. She is a person of color. She has an extremely passionate voice about her weight loss journey, her experience as being obese. Our stories are somewhat similar. She also had a high of like 400. As we know, mine was a 418. She had a little bit, it sounds to me from listening to her story, her physical limitations were a little bit more than mine and more serious than mine. But other than that, we had very similar experiences in terms of our weight loss journey, and how it affected us in physically and mentally, and the detriment that it caused in our lives, and how it motivated us to go on a path of improving our health and losing weight. Like her, I have over time, the past couple of years, whether it's been, I haven't had a YouTube channel very long, but I've been on social media forever, it seems, and I've, since I've been on my journey of weight loss, I've been very vocal about it, and I post about it, and I share with the online community, because I feel like people need to know that they're not alone in their struggles and how they feel emotionally, or how physically they're feeling, and that other people have experienced the same thing that they might be experiencing right now, and we can pull through and get through it. And there is another side. There's another side you're going to get to. You're going to come through and feel better about it. And like Charlie, who shows us in her video, I have been on the receiving end of, I don't want to say hate hate's too strong of a word. It's more dislike or, being messaged or sent email about, the fact that by sharing before and after pictures, I'm damaging or hurting or, triggering people who may have an eating disorder or who may be on the fat acceptance side, or I'm not working towards body positivity, and just spin it from there. And that's kind of where some of the reactions I've gotten online. And I want to say that it doesn't affect me, but it really does. And it affects me in the way that I kind of get angry or at least annoyed, because I feel like, one, who are you to tell me what I should be sharing of my life with other people? If I choose to share my experiences, I'm choosing to share them. But the other thing is, I am being honest, and if me being honest about my struggles with being 418 pounds is something that you find upsetting because it puts, overweight people or people who are accepting of their bodies or of, the fact that they're overweight or obese in a bad light, that's really not my issue. I think it says more about, your stance and what your point is that you're trying to make, or your message, than it does from what I'm saying. Like, my message, I'm not promoting a national campaign or like basically a movement of, accepting myself at every size. What I'm putting out there is, I weighed 418 pounds. I could barely breathe. I couldn't walk. I couldn't fit into physical spaces. I had no quality of life. My body hurt all the time, and I was tired. And at 22 years old, that kind of wasn't working for me. And I needed to make a change. And that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that what I'm doing is what everybody else needs to be doing. I'm not saying what I did was right for everybody. I'm not saying what I did was good versus what you're doing is bad. I'm just saying that my perspective, this is where I'm coming from. But I do believe that science has shown us that there are health problems that are associated with obesity, and that, while correlation does not mean causation, and just because X is happening does not mean Y is going to happen, you're still increasing your chances of heart disease, of cancer, of like blowing out muscles, knees, joints, having pain, all sorts of things when you carry too much weight. And there is evidence out there, and to pretend like it doesn't exist, I think is stupid. I think it takes away from anybody's message when you're putting your head in the sand and refusing to talk about it, and acting like anybody who does and is not, basically is not demonizing anybody for the shape that their body's in, but are just stating that this is what data has shown us. Can you please react to that? And your response is, I'm not going to talk about it, and I'm going to make you sound like you're like the worst person on the planet. I kind of feel like that negates everything that you're trying to say. So I guess this is me coming out a little bit more clearly that I'm not a proponent of fat acceptance. I am a proponent of body positivity, in the sense that you should take care of your body, you should love your body, you should be happy with the body you only have one body, and you should take care of it in a way that it functions and does for you what you need it to do. And if that means that you're overweight and you need to lose weight because you can't live a life that is fulfilling or productive or pain-free, then that's what you need to do. And I'm behind that. I am not somebody who is saying like it's okay to be fat if you weigh 500, 400, 600 pounds. It's great. I'm not, I just can't get behind that, because that wasn't my reality. If I know there are people out there who weigh that much and are perfectly healthy, I just want to see what kind of quality of life they have. I just find it really hard to picture that somebody who weighs 500, 600 pounds has no problem walking up and down stairs or doing, making their beds, taking care of their children, playing with their children. There has to be limitations. Physically, there just has to be. The amount of space that you're taking up and the amount of weight you're carrying to do certain things and putting effort and energy into, it's got to be limiting. So I'm not really buying this whole like health at every size thing. And that's kind of all I want to say about that topic. We can talk about it in the comments. You can message me, email me, hit me on Twitter, whatever, if you want to keep going. I've said my piece on that. Everybody's kind of talking about this because of Fat-Topia coming out. And then the other huge thing that's kind of going on, at least in the online channels that I follow, and I hate to have even talk about this because the last thing I want to do is become a reaction channel to her, because she's got so many out there and so many people are making such good points about it. But Amberlynn Reid, man, I don't even know. I'm so sad, but at the same time, I'm so incredibly frustrated. And I'm just also shocked in a way. Those of you who don't know, Amberlynn is a YouTuber who started out as a weight loss YouTuber. At one point she did drop like 89 pounds or something. So when she dropped 89 pounds, I believe she was in the low 300s, like 330s, 320s when she did that. And then pretty much over the past 2 or 3 years, she's pretty much gained like over 200 pounds. And recently, and I'm talking probably the last 6 months or so, it just seems like the amount of weight that she's gained is rapidly increasing. And, people have been concerned forever, and, people have messaged her, people have, reached out to her. Other YouTubers like Alan Roberts and Obese to Beast have reached out to her, and she wants none of it. She's one of these people who constantly thinks that she knows what's best for her, which she obviously doesn't, because it's not working. She, wants to do what she wants to do, and it never seems to work, and it fails. She's constantly in a cycle of I'm gonna start a new diet. It works for like 2 or 3 days, maybe a week. She goes off the rails, and then she tells you why that specific diet, program, whatever, doctor didn't work for her. So it's kind of like this endless cycle of try and fail, and rationalization of it, and then gaining more weight. It's the usual cycle we see with people who who diet often and can't commit to something. She just can't commit to something. Personally, I feel like the problem is that she says she has a binge eating disorder. I think she's addicted to food. I think it's no different than watching a heroin addict or an alcoholic with their drug of choice. I think she's addicted to food. I don't even think she tastes food anymore. I think she just eats because to eat. Like, that being said, I think that's an issue. She needs to go into inpatient treatment for this. I think that, even if she gets weight loss surgery, it's not going to help until she gets what's going on in her brain, and talks with therapists and kind of gets to the roots of problems and things that she's has to deal with settled, or at least, on a path of healing. But the problem is, she starts these diets, she stops them, she goes off the rails, she gains weight, she talks about how much she doesn't like herself, and she gets upset, and you want to feel bad for her because it's awful, it's heartbreaking. She's not even 30 years old yet. And then she'll film like a mukbang of her eating, what the hell did she do last time, like Japanese rice or Korean rice, I don't even know what they are, like rice cakes. Or, she'll do like a Morningstar Farms chicken nugget mukbang. So it's like, on one hand, you're talking about how much you hate yourself because you eat constantly and you don't like the weight you are. And then you're going to turn around and film you eating massive amounts of food. It's so frustrating. Anyway, and you can go online, just literally go into YouTube or on Google and put her name in, and you will be inundated with stuff. Why is it becoming a big thing right now is because she's been doing 100 days of uploading over this summer, and by her own admission, her videos have been behind in time. So they're several weeks to a month, maybe month and a half behind real time as she's uploading them. And so we've kind of been seeing her this summer, what she's been doing and what she's looked like. But we've been seeing a past version of her. Well, I guess over the weekend, was it either Sunday or Monday or maybe I don't know, it was just recently, like within the last week, one of her roommates uploaded a vlog of, they have their own YouTube channel, and they uploaded a vlog of a surprise party that they did, and she was in it, and she looks like she's gained a ton of weight in a very short time. What she looks like in this current real-time video is really nothing like what she's looked like in the videos that she's been showing us. She's claiming that she's 565 or 560, and there's only a small, like little, like talking 5 to 10 pound weight difference between the two. It looks more like a 50 to 60 pound weight difference, honestly. And it's just so sad. I think a lot of us have, you know, we've seen videos where she's barely walking. She can barely walk. She can walk for about 2 minutes, which she's proud of, which I think is sad and upsetting. It's for somebody that young, can't even walk more than 2 minutes. And we've seen videos of that. She's done that. She did that a couple of videos ago, and you know, you saw her physical form there, her whole body, and literally what we saw in this other video is drastically different. And I think why people are, I don't want to say freaking out, but why it's such a topic of conversation is because I think she shocked the hell out of everybody. I think that seeing her just was such a shock to everybody because it's not at all what we've been seeing. And it's just a situation where we're just a lot of us are just like, how can you sit there and claim it's a 5 or 10 pound difference? Like, you're killing yourself on camera. I think that's the real thing. It really puts like her getting upset about not losing weight and then filming mukbangs in perspective. It's like, wow, you know, how can you do X, Y, and Z when you're saying that you are disgusted by yourself and you're embarrassed? I mean, she's already discussed on social media this actual video, and she said that it broke her heart and she felt gut punched when she actually saw herself like that. And you know, I just don't understand how you could say that. Oh my cat just threw up on the floor. Great. I don't know how she could say that and then, you know, turn around and do a taste test of food. Which is the other thing that kind of killed me, was, you know, the same time that this roommate's video came out, she put out a video where she was talking about, she went to Wegmans and went or Kroger and went shopping, and she's talking about how she hasn't done anything for the last 3 months, other than eat fast food or takeout, hasn't cooked, and she's shopping and they're buying food. So she's talking about trying to ease into healthier eating, and I'm just like, there is no place on this planet where you should be easing into anything. You need a dramatic change stat, and that's the problem, is that she's delusional. She's deluding herself, she's rationalizing everything, and she refuses to get help. And I think at this point, after seeing the latest of what she looks like, people are really concerned, people are really scared, and people have given up. There's a great deal of people who just don't want to, who wash their hands of even caring anymore because they feel like she's just not going to listen. My personal feeling is I feel like she's killing herself on camera, and I'm just like, is it worth the views and the money? She barely ever films a video, hardly ever films a video where she's not eating on camera, which makes me believe she's catering to a specific type of audience that's making her more money than, you know, she wants to talk about. And if that's the case, hey man, like, I'm cool with that. Do what you want to do, but don't sit here and tell us you're a weight loss channel and don't cry to us about how you feel. You know, do something about it. Get help. Take up people's offers. And that's kind of my feeling on it. And like, I just kind of, I felt like I was punched in the gut when I saw that, because I honestly couldn't believe what I was looking at, because that's not at all how she's looked. And I know what it's like to see pictures and film of myself and being like, holy crap, is that really what I look like? And how devastating that is. There are days I look at myself now and still feel that way. So my heart really goes out to her in terms of that. And I also am just like, you're so young and you have such a life, you have so much life ahead. You're not even 30 yet. Why? You know, please just get some help, because you have a life you want to live, and on the path you're going right now, you're gonna, I mean, I don't know, I give it like a couple of weeks until she's housebound and can't go anywhere. And you know, once that hits, it's like a downhill slide from there. So I'm just really hoping she gets some help. It's heartbreaking and it's so frustrating. And I just felt like I had to say something about it, because it just shook me completely. So on that note, I'm just gonna end today's video. I hope everybody's doing really well. If you're on your journey, I'm hoping you're being successful. You can do this. You've got this. I believe in you. Keep up the great work. And for those who may be in a, you know, who are hitting a plateau or who are stumbling a bit, I got you. You got your back. You have support. It happens. Just, you know, pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and keep going. One day at a time. We can do this. Just keep your head in the game. Don't get frustrated. And if you need to talk to somebody, reach out to somebody and say, you know, I'm just frustrated. You know, I need a pep talk. And you know, if anyone ever needs one, I'm certainly somebody who will be happy to give you one. Like I said, hit me up on any of the socials listed below. Send me an email, reach out here. You know, I'm always up for productive conversation. And on that note, I'm going to wish everybody a good week, and I will see you next time. Have a good one, guys.